What's the one thing that keeps us from having it all? Well, we're going to talk about that tonight. This is Tom Kieran with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness in San Diego, California, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Welcome back, guys. Got a terrific lesson tonight. So I want to talk about this idea of being afraid. It's on fear, but being afraid to lose it, to lose what we have. It occurs to me that one of the things that really prevents us from manifesting what we want, our desires, and we've talked a lot about this in different ways, but before we even get it, before we even manifest it, fear overcomes us and we go, well, if I get it, how will I be able to hold on to it, right? It's like people who want money, oh my God, but what am I going to do with it? They start thinking of all these scenarios in their head of loss, of again, getting back to that lack, but we have fear of losing it even before we get it. This is a big factor in keeping us from our manifestations, right? Because you've lost it before you even get it then. It's not going to come to you, right? This whole idea of being afraid to lose it, even in love and personal relationships, right? We say I love you, but then if they don't say it back, we feel we're all of a sudden we're feeling conditioned now. We're feeling, well, you don't love me. We're feeling loss. We're feeling fear, right? This is almost all of our love is conditioned, if you think about it, guys. And unconditional love, remember, we love him because he loved us first. This is Jesus, right? So it's not only just love that we condition, we almost put conditions on everything, right? And this is this whole idea of being worried about losing something before we even have it. Or once we have it, then we're worried about losing it. If we have love, now we're worried about losing love, losing the one we're with, right? If for some reason something goes wrong and you start getting paranoid, or this fear enters in, right? It's not just with relationships; it's with money. It's with it's not love relationships, but friendships. All of that fear-based mentality. It comes from and then the big fears of worthiness, right? We don't feel good enough. We don't feel if we don't feel strong enough. We don't feel intelligent enough. We don't feel we've accomplished enough, right? Everything is this fear that we get that it's conditioned, right? If you do, I think we even get this from childhood, right? If you do this, you'll get this, right? I will love you more if you do this for me. We've been conditioned with conditions, with conditional love. And so how do you, if you can do this, guys, if you can be afraid of not losing anything, right? Because as I talked about, everything in the world, it doesn't even matter, it could be relationships, things, people, and money. It's all just, you're a creator. You don't have to hang on to this stuff, right? Fear hangs on, love lets go, right? Right? Fear attacks and love repairs and encourages, right? Fear lashes out, love embraces, right? Fear is afraid of losing, love is about giving. Do you see this, guys? This is huge tonight because we put up the defenses as soon as we're walking around life defensive, right? It's the great fear, right? It's all based on the great fear, right? The great fear of death, the great fear that the outcome is uncertain. But guys, the outcome is certain. Once you get with God, once you get with that divinity inside, you will know the outcome is certain. Whatever happens on this planet, in this earth, you're returning to love. You got to be happy in that. You've got to revel in everything, but don't hold on to it, right? Be willing to lose it all, because when you're willing to lose it all, then you have it all. You truly do. Then everything just comes to you, right? It's that resistance that you're putting up before you even get something, whether it's love, money, recognition, awards. You're putting up that resistance even before you get it. That's why you never get it. And then when you do get it, you've seen this oftentimes, people lose it right away. What about those stories about the lottery, right? It's this fear, right? God's love's without condition. I was going to say unconditional love, but that seems to be so overused, but I like it. But I'd rather say it this way, that it's without condition. There's not one condition. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to accomplish. You don't have to compare yourself to be the brightest or funniest or best looking or most likes on Instagram or whatever it is. Right? We're thinking that we lose when we're not the smartest. We lose when we're not the best. We lose when we're not the most liked. Right? We have this we're afraid to lose, right? But that's the whole idea, right? This is the fear behind it. It's built on this. Sometimes we're afraid to fall in love because we're afraid to lose it. We're afraid to leave ourselves vulnerable, right? Right? I think in conversations with God, it says you say to yourself, "I'll be damned if I leave myself vulnerable again." But God says you'll be damned if you don't. Why will you be damned if you don't? You'll be damned because you'll never know that pure love. Yeah, you'll never know that highest love. You'll never know the love without condition, the love without an opposite. Right? The opposite of love's not fear. The opposite of the love we feel here in this reality is fear. But there is only love, and it has no opposite. Fear is what we created. And it's all based on this idea that we lose it. We're afraid to losing. The first thing we get, we're afraid to lose it. Afraid to lose, right? If we're in school, we get an A on an exam, or an A student, we're afraid to lose that status to somebody else, right? Or if we're not, we felt that we lost. It's this whole idea, guys, around this condition, putting conditions on everything. There are no conditions on you. Who you are is perfect. There's nothing you need to do. You were born that way. It's your inheritance. Everything should be for fun and for enjoyment and for what you want to do on this planet. Right? You've came here to create. Don't let anyone start putting conditions on you. Even if they have, you got to lose those conditions, guys. Right? The more you realize who you are, the more you become. This is what it was said in Conversations with God, I think, is where I read that. The more that you become, the more that you realize who you are, this divinity, this love, the more you become. This is amazing stuff. So when you open yourself up, love's about opening up. Fear's about closing off, right? Fear's about holding on or holding someone onto someone or something. And love's about holding something dear to you, but being willing to let it go. Right? You're not, you're enjoying, if you're walking in a garden, you're enjoying the flowers. Right? They're beautiful. But you don't get so obsessed with them that you start picking them and ruining the garden and taking them with you. That's when you go too far. I think that came from reality transurfing. There was a good thing in there about that. That we can love something and admire it, but it's when we start putting conditions on it or want to take it with us or start overdoing it, right? Putting too much importance on it, right? So if you open yourself up to that pure love and leave yourself vulnerable, that you believe you're leaving yourself vulnerable when you open yourself up to love, that's when you experience complete, I meant to say here, invulnerability. It's only when you because fear is about clothing and hiding yourself, right? Love's about being free, right? Showing, you know, being not physically naked to the world, but opening your heart. That kind of naked, right? Opening your heart. We don't do it because we think we're going to get hurt. So we're so afraid of losing that we keep it close. And, you know, you'll be damned if you show love first and they don't show it to you. You'll be amazed when you start showing it, guys. It's only when you're completely vulnerable and you open yourself up that you realize your complete invulnerability. You cannot be hurt. When you love, it's strong. When you hate, that's weak. There's nothing strong about that, guys. There's no strength in hate. There's no strength in pushing against. There's no strength in holding on. The strength comes in letting go. The strength comes in loving. The strength comes in leaving yourself, which you consider vulnerable, and opening yourself up, not closing yourself off. It's not about shrinking. It's about becoming more of who you are. We love him because he loved us first, guys. Love expands, right? Fear shrinks. Love heals. Fear harms, right? This is the stuff, guys. This is it. This is, you know, we talked about the sponsoring thought, right? And that there's either love or fear on this physical reality. Well, a lot of what we've gone through in our life, it's in the news cycles, it's everywhere, is fear. It's sponsored on fear. But you don't have to fall for that. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to start taking cover. You know. This is what I wanted to talk about tonight, guys. It's pretty powerful stuff. I'll leave a link below to the Conversation of God series again. And I think a lot of it came from that, although some of it came from reality transurfing. And some of it just came, you know, it just comes. It's from your heart. We're all just love. There's nothing to lose, guys. This survival of the fittest, you know, hurt them before they hurt you. That's not strength. It's the opposite. It closes you off. It doesn't, when you open yourself up, that love's about opening yourself up, not closing yourself off. Right? So that's what I wanted to hit tonight. That's all I got right now this evening. This is Tom Karen with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness in San Diego, California, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button and share this and comment. Also, subscribe. It's a caricature of me with a headset. And hit the notification bell so you never miss a Be Something Wonderful video, yeah? Lots of love, guys. Until next time, this is Tom. See you soon.